I'm Lester Lee. So right now I'm responsible for the Huobi strategic investment uh, in Huobi. And I used to also based in London, used to run the Huobi institutional business for the last 2 years in London also. Yeah. And right now, currently, as we just launched, we do the Huobi Filecoin Incubation Center and Investment Fund with Lab. So I'm also responsible for the investment in the Filecoin. But my talk will basically cover more from the lending side, and I think later tonight, as in at 9 p.m. something, our chief investment officer Sharon Wu will cover the investment side. If you are interested how we will invest in Filecoin, maybe you could later listen to her talk. So here's my agenda, right? So I will first talk about why Huobi good as a company ourselves is why have a good track record to be the good lending provider. Yeah, and then I will talk about how we do the HFL lending service in the DeFi. We're also doing the similar bridge function for the Filecoin. Yeah, then we will also talk about how in the future we will try to do a Filecoin centralized lending service also. Yeah. Yeah, so easily go over about what is Hobby Goo, I think, in case some people don't know. We launched Hobby, we are actually a spot exchange launched in 2013 September. So I think we are the one of the exchange with the longest history in the Asia. Yeah. And then during in the past more than 7 years, we have been continuing operation from affiliate exchange, then come to crypto exchange, and then in 2018 we have the biggest OTC market in the Asia, and then the derivative exchange. And currently we expand our business to not just exchange, we also have wallet mining pool, investment fund, and a lot of things. I think we are quite big and being in the field for really long time. Yeah. Yeah. So to give a more concrete number about us, why we are good for that, I think it's like usually right now our exchange daily spot 21 it will be 1 to 3 billion, and daily derivative volume will be 3 to 10 billion. So we are in the coin market cap, I think both sides we are the second biggest in the market. Yeah. And we have also a lot of trust from the community also. I think usually our client asset in our exchange will usually run up to 10 billion. Yeah. And for our user, usually we have a registered user more than I think 50 million, and our daily active user usually have around 150K, and monthly active user usually go around 500K. Yeah. And some track record I think we can show is like first we have served client in more than 130 countries. Second, I think we kind of have a global office in more than 15 country or area, and you could always find some of our hobby exchange office in different country and actually reach them or set up meeting physically in different our office. Yeah, we can easily mention in China we have 5 offices, then including Hong Kong, and then we have office in Korea, Japan, Singapore, and London, Gibraltar, San Francisco. Yeah, and also Middle East and South America also. Yeah. And I think globally our strategy is quite embracing the regulation also. So we are one of the 16 licensing in Japan. Yeah. And also in Hong Kong, Singapore, we are applying the license. In London, we in Europe we have the Gibraltar DLT license also. Yeah. In US we have some MSP license and trust license also. And I think we also have the 7-year track record that no matter from exchange side or lending side, we don't have a serious hacker issue. And I think our total trading volume already go beyond 2 trillion dollars. Yeah, finally, we also usually we have for the lending business we have been running all the crypto lending business for like a few years, and usually our right now usually have outstanding lending usually around 1 billion US dollar. Yeah, so we have super sufficient operation experience in both the retail and institutional lending. Yeah. So then come back, other than the track record, why we are good at to be a lending operator, and then we come to what we do in the Filecoin lending. So I think at the beginning, Asia is the biggest miner community for the Filecoin network. Yeah, so we find the problem in the beginning is like a lot of the top miner, they come to us, it's like they lack of Filecoin token to mining. Yeah, and lot of them machine, Filecoin mining machine, we made idle because they don't have enough Filecoin token to deposit and collateral. And also we find in the market, in the another side, like a lot of Filecoin token holder, they wish to lend out safely, but they worry about people will use the lending function to shorting it. So come to this few problem. We first at the beginning, I think it's 1 month ago, we are the first one launched the Filecoin bridge, also the Filecoin lending in the DeFi world, I think. Yeah, so we believe that as what the last panel we tell is like we believe the DeFi lending protocol could create a lending market for Filecoin. So that's why we think we could create a Filecoin ERC20 token each field, and then each field will backed by one Filecoin, right? And so we believe at least that will help the lender and broker safely make a deal in the DeFi protocol. Yeah. So that's how the process. But different from the run field, our process is more exchange based. So usually, if you want to have the H field, first is like you deposit the Filecoin to our exchange, Huobi exchange, and of course you need to have a account in Huobi exchange at the beginning, and then you go to the normally the token withdrawal page for the Filecoin, and then in that withdrawal page you will have two options. You could either withdraw the normal Filecoin, or another one you can withdraw the H field. Yeah, so when you withdraw the H field, it will automatically mean the ERC20 token H field. So usually you don't need to wait or something. And then after you withdraw your H field to your own wallet address, and then you deposit the H field into the DeFi protocol, then you do the lending or borrowing. Yeah, and yeah, and then the market, the player, the people who want to borrow, they can after you deposit in DeFi protocol, they could borrow the H field in that protocol with the market rate. And after people have the borrow the HFL, if they want to turn it back into Filecoin, they just deposit the HFL coin into the Huobi exchange and then withdraw field. Then they get back and then they will use that to collateralize and doing the mining. Yeah, so basically this is the step by step. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I did not do the demo, but I just do the slideshow. So yeah, this is the one of the screenshot. Is like when you see the Filecoin, you have the withdraw function. In the withdraw function, you can withdraw the H file. There are two options: the field and the field. As long as you withdraw the H field and put the address amount you want, you will get. Yeah. Then the spin field is like, for example, if you go to some protocol that supports field borrow and lending, like Fortune, and then you can see the how to deposit it and come out also. So currently, the actual data I just screenshot a few hours ago is like, as you can see, right now the API for this HFL landing is like 50%, 50%, and the API is 27%. It means people borrowing the HFL in the annual rate like 27%. Yeah. And there as you see the market right now in the 40 itself only, the 40 already have total deposit like uh, one, yeah, 13,000 HFL token there, and already have like almost uh, borrow like 9,000 almost there. Yeah, and still have a 4,000 inventory. So they have a inventory limit. So we can see the huge demand already reaching the 60% maximum LTV. Yeah. So I think the market is still have a huge demand for Filecoin demand in the Asia community. Yeah, we talked to the top player, the top mining machine pool in China, Asia. A lot of them, we still think that at least have a few hundred, almost will be reach like 100 million market size in the future. Yeah. Yeah, I think in the future we will still in the DeFi lending side will persuade more developer to support the Filecoin lending. I think yeah, and also building on the community like why people is safe to use Filecoin to doing the lending abroad in the DeFi. Yeah, and we also will continue to be the liquidity provider and how we can make the market have a better rate for no matter the banking and lending and the borrowing also. Yeah, but as we go through the DeFi lending and borrowing, we see there's still one problem they have not solved. It's like in the DeFi field, you could not control those people borrow the Filecoin to shorting the Filecoin token itself, right? So we think about, okay, could we do a lending service that could only allow people to borrow Filecoin that will use for mining, they're not used for trading, right? If for that, then maybe a lot of Filecoin community key player will wish to lend out more, right? Because I don't think the community will wish to see people borrow a lot of Filecoin and then sell it in the chain. So that's why we also come to the idea that we think we should do the centralized lending survey for the Filecoin also. Yeah. So right now we are kind of preparing for this new platform, centralized. Yeah. So I think in the future we will provide a centralized lending platform. We will create a system that it will ensure all the Filecoin lend out. We will be locked in the working account that will only use for the Filecoin mining. Yeah, and people can check and see from the on-chain data that all the Filecoin you lend out will be collateralized and used for mining new Filecoin. Yeah, and in the same time, we could be the intermediate that all the lender could choose not to take any risk and could also set up the fixed term or rate with us, yeah, to make all the lending out much easier. Yeah, and our exchange will be running responsible for all the due diligence and risk control. As we mentioned, we have super large balance sheet and we have super large P&L and we have super experience in the past few years. They're running more than 1 billion centralized lending in crypto assets. So I think we already have the team, we already have those risk control experience. So we are confident that you could count us on doing this. Yeah. And also from the compliance side, we will also only provide this service to those countries that is compliant with the local regulation. I think one key thing is that in most countries we embrace the local regulation. We try to get the license in different country. Yeah. And so I think that we can also solve another problem in the default protocol. We could, rather than the default protocol, we could provide even a larger amount lending or borrowing, whether it's like which like 100 million or a few million, we still feel quite comfortable about it. Yeah. And we have not yet sold the demo for decentralized lending. Usually will be like OTC lending. So that this service will most basically more case by case service. Yeah, I think in the future come out we will provide more information. We expecting this centralized lending will come out in Q1, just a few months later. Yeah, we are still in the process doing all the paperwork from all the regulation and compliance side, how we decide the paperwork, how we do the due diligence with the local miner in the issue. Yeah, and how we do the due diligence when if the miner is in different area also. Yeah, so I think basically that's the two lending solution within we could help the community to build up the Filecoin network. Yeah, and yeah, and to be honest, it's like as our main business still the trading business. For when we do the lending business, we more think from the strategic perspective. Yeah, because the lending part revenue will not be the key revenue for Huobi. So we do this is hopefully cool. We think Filecoin is will kind of be the key project for the whole blockchain industry. Yeah, it's especially from the storage side. So when we come to think uh, about the financial side of Filecoin ecosystem, we feel there will more potential come out. Yeah, but this more yeah. So in the full perspective, we think in the future, as long as the Filecoin ecosystem can become bigger, the financial perspective of it will grow bigger also. So we think I personally think this is from will fall on the four perspective, right? First is the trading side, like we believe Filecoin could help make more internet and storage assets could be traded by this system. Like in the future, it's so hard to trade a storage place in the internet. Right? And right now we could trade in a decentralized ways and even token way. Yeah, and also in the lending from our experience, uh, as one ecosystem going up, first the token lending market will become bigger. That's first one. The second one is like in the mining perspective, a lot of mining pool or mining factory, they will also come out to the lending and borrowing of those machines, right? To collateralize their machine to borrow more working capital for the expanding their pool or just paying their electricity fee, something like that. Yeah. And the third more future thing is like in the future maybe they will come out interest market for Filecoin, something like that. But still, we still think this will be much longer way. And also the derivative side is like we we have not yet on we believe kind of as the ecosystem grow bigger, derivative trading will come to also. Uh, Even though right now it's still quite early, but I think as I become bigger, there that the derivative side will also naturally come out. Yeah, and yeah, and the insurance side I think even longer. It's like just my personal guessing. Right now it's like maybe there will be an insurance service in the Filecoin system in the future also. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's too long or too short. So I think basically in the future, if you have interesting, you could reach me in LinkedIn, Lester Howdley, or you could just uh, email us in this file called incubation@huobi.com. Yeah. And so I think in the Filecoin ecosystem, we both believe in no matter trading. Yeah, we are exchange, right? And then in this lending, we also support, and also we have the 10 million Filecoin ecosystem investment fund also. So I think in the future, no matter you want to do which business, you could reach us, and we are happy to support all the Filecoin ecosystem well. Yeah. And I also appreciate the time that the community gave me to share this info.